Hello, strong people. Week 6, day 1 of off-season work. We have hang cleans. Ew. Hope to be better than last week on that, though. I got to go back and see what tips my coach had for me for that to revisit. Make sure I'm doing a little bit better. Then we have camber bar good morning, a moderate weight, not a max effort lower. And that's just because, I'm guessing it's because we have a max deadlift plan for this Saturday. So I'm not expecting anything crazy at the max deadlift event. It's just a charity deadlift event. But of course, I'd like to pull something heavy. But I have not done a conventional deadlift. I did one at the end of my sets last week, just one. And it was not good. It was the very last one after a bunch of sets of snatch grips. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do suited or not suited yet. I'm not expecting anything crazy. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Because it's like an hour and a half car drive down there. So driving that far and then having a max deadlift right after is not ideal. But you got to do that sometimes. You know, that's not the end of the world. Like, if that's the biggest complaint you have on the day, then you had a pretty good day probably. So I'm not going to use that as much of an excuse because it's not, you know. And then after that today, after the good mornings, I also have front squats. So a bunch of stuff I don't really care for today. So that's what's on the menu essentially. So let's get my knee sleeves on. Oh, my belt is still, no, where? Oh, it's right there. Never mind. So let's get my sleeves on, get my Olympic shoes on, my ollie shoes, squat shoes, whatever you want to call them. And we will try not to suck. So I also don't know what's better, using the power bar or a deadlift bar for Olympic lifts, because I don't have a dedicated Olympic bar. And I believe Olympic bars have center knurling, but they also have some whip to them, because you can see the bar oscillate in an Olympic lifting video. So I really don't know anything about Olympic lifting. So maybe I'll use a deadlift bar today to see if the whip on it, you know, mimics an ollie bar. I don't know. We'll see. So stick around and see if I've improved at all. Timing's off. Oh, God. All right, I just wanted to stop halfway through my hang cleans there. Might be onto something here. So this is one of those lifts where I am thinking a lot. Some lifts I don't think about anything at all. Other lifts I think about a lot. Other lifts I think way too much about. I'm definitely thinking a lot about this one. Because there's a lot of moving parts, and I am not quite sure how to put them all together yet. That second set, the one that you just saw, feels a lot better. And what I did differently between set 1 and 2, I had an active upper back. Like, some of you might know what that means, but to kind of describe it, meaning like, my upper back wasn't doing anything in the first set. Like, I wasn't actively pulling with it. It was just kind of there, and I was trying to let my hips do the work, which I don't think is the right way to do a hang clean or power clean or whatever. You know, it's full body, it's full explosion. So timing, as I'm leaning over, my upper back is active. Like I'm tensing it a little bit to like, know that it's ready to pull. So, and that and my lats combined is how I'm keeping the bar close to me. So, and then pulling as I extend with my hips. It's tough to break down because I don't fully understand the movement yet. But the second set there gave me a lot of hope. So it's one of those super frustrating movements where like it's super light. Like I can press this with one arm. And I'm having trouble hang cleaning it. I know it's a foreign movement, but strongman is all foreign movements. So it bothers me. I don't like not being at least mediocre at something. So I know this isn't like, it's not going to be in strongman or whatever. It could be if, there's a clean and press barbell for, whatever, which it's happened. So this, I don't know why I would do this, with that, but some people might, because I don't know. It's hard to say, because like I went back and I rambled there for a little bit. I don't even know what I just said, but anyway. So I went back and looked at like my axle cleans, and what's different with them is I actually use my thighs instead of my hip I use my thighs instead of my hip to actually pull. To bump, I should say, to get that pop off the legs or the hip, which technically speaking is not correct. It should be, I believe it should be off the hips, because that's what Olympic style lifters do. They throw with their hips forward. I'm throwing with my quads, my upper quads, because they stick out further than my hip bones. So this is a weird movement because I'm trying to use my hips and it feels foreign, even though it's a very similar movement. So I don't want to talk anymore about it. I just want to do my next 2 sets and then move on to a good morning. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but it helps me to talk through the lift. So hopefully it helped a little bit. That's almost a front rack. All right, I am thoroughly impressed. I got a little sloppy there on a couple reps, but that's okay. So a couple things that definitely improved, absolutely got better. Switching to the deadlift bar, I definitely feel like that's closer to an Olympic bar. Way better. The little bit of whip you get helps a lot. Power bar, too much, too stiff. Probably, I don't know, it depends how you're looking at it. If you're doing Olympic lifts with a power bar, it's going to be harder because you don't have any whip or oscillation in the bar to help you out there. So it's, it kind of depends what you're looking for. If you're looking to recreate an Olympic lifting situation, deadlift bar might be better, I think. I don't know for sure. I'm just complete guess here because I've never really done Olympic lifts. So, but the Olympic bar, the deadlift bar definitely helped me out. Mind muscle connection to the upper back. I'm trying to think of better wording for that, but that's really what it was. Using my upper back, making sure it's active. Like in a bench press, whenever you pinch your back together to form a little bit of a solid base. Kind of like that, but in this situation, I was just loose the first set and the last week's sets. So drastic improvement there. I really wanted to go up to 225, but I didn't just because I wanted to nail the technique. Next week, depending on what I have, how many sets, reps, whatever, I'd like to give it a go because I do think I could do it for sets of 5. but I want them to be crisp, or as crisp as I can get them. So for this movement, I'm not really, I'm not willing to sacrifice technique for weight just yet. Or ever, really. Because good technique, good heavyweight follows, really. So, what else? Oh, and really trying to jump. Not just, all right, two other things, I guess. Trying to jump, actually trying to jump. Rather than just throw my hips through like a hip thrust machine. Doesn't make sense. And then I was hitting my thighs better, or maybe slightly above them, below the hip crease, somewhere in there. Something that felt closer to what my axle clean is like. And I was getting a lot better pop. A couple of those, I almost lost it back. So I think that's really all the things that helped me there. So I liked this week a lot more. I feel confident. I actually would love to do more, but it's not in the program to do more, and it's not going to be that much of a help to do more. So, also, how about that front rack? That's almost a front rack. Where'd that come from? I don't even understand how. Like, I couldn't press from that position. I'd have to reposition a little bit, but that's almost a front rack. That's crazy. So I'm cool with that. Maybe, I don't even know where that came from, honestly, but all right, enough talking. I'm going to set up my good mornings, and then we'll go from there. All right, good mornings are done. They feel a lot better on the camera bar. I don't feel like they're crushing the back of my neck. It said moderate weight, so that was probably even a little bit below moderate, but I did it beltless too to make it a little bit harder. I also wore squat shoes for it. I don't know how much of a difference that really makes, but it felt like I was getting more glutes, hamstrings than I was last time I did it. Was I really? I don't know, but it felt better, so I'm cool with that. There was something else I was going to say. I forget what it was. I don't know. I don't remember, but I got front squats now. 3 sets of 7 and a set of 7 plus, I think. I have no idea what weight I'm going to hit for this. I can't imagine it's going to be anything super heavy, because I haven't done standard front squats in a while, it feels like. I don't even remember if I did them last week. It may have been one of the days it was too cold and I called it. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. But we're doing them tonight. So, I don't know. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I found a new uncomfortable feeling. Front squats with a very cold bar. That thing is like putting ice on my neck. So that's a strange feeling, but not a big deal. So yeah, I think that's enough. I don't know what else I'm saying. So let's go actually front squat. All right, well, it's not how I was hoping today would go. Something felt a little weird as I was locking out that last rep. I don't know if it was like a shift or a pop or what exactly happened. But it's like it turned everything off for a second, stopped working. It hurt. It hurts right now. I don't know. First, here's tips on how to deal with an injury that just happened. Do not freak out. Don't assume the worst. Unless your leg's broken or something, then probably go get that checked out right away. But my first thought when I did that was, okay, I just herniated a disc, slipped a disc. So I took the belt off, started walking around to see if I could feel it in my legs, which I don't. So I don't believe it's that. I could be wrong. You know, I'm not a physiotherapist or a physical therapist, whatever they're called, physical therapist, whoever, you know, specializes in this stuff. But it is tight. Leaning over doesn't really bother me. I can sit, it's tight the whole way through, but it doesn't hurt when I do those movements. The only time it hurts is when I start to lean my torso back, right about there, which is not good for overhead press. So that's a little bit worrisome. I don't really know what it could be. I'll probably have to go get it looked at. But I remember the last time I seriously hurt myself where I was like, okay, I can't do like anything right now without causing real pain. It's been a while. So that time I laid down and I couldn't get off the floor. I got up eventually, but it was bad. So I was fine a few months later. But, you know, that's not really the point. So trying to think of what I want to do next. Well, what I did do, run through again. So walked away, tried to feel it in my legs. Nothing feeling in the legs, just stiffness, tightness in the low back. It's like dead center low back too. Like above my butt crack, for lack of a better term, pretty much. It doesn't hurt to touch. It's, I don't know, it's weird. I don't really know how to describe it. So, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. So I'm definitely not going to do a deadlift Saturday. I'm done for today. I did do some reverse hypers to try to get some blood into it. When you do a reverse hyper, you obviously swing your legs down and then up. And I'm calling up lockout. So at lockout, it doesn't feel very good. I did what I could there, try to get some blood in it, but I couldn't get much done there. It was just too much pain. Not like excruciating. It's just like, it's that type of pain where you know you shouldn't push through it, like you're not really going to get anything done if you do it. So that puts a big question mark on the coming weeks, you know. Now obviously I don't have a show picked. Technically I do, but it's not, you know, I'm not signed up or anything. So this may push stuff back. It depends how serious it is. If it clears up in 2 weeks, then it clears up in 2 weeks. But no deadlift Saturday. I don't even know what I have tomorrow. Bench. I should be fine to bench, but I don't know if I'll be able to get an arch. So it may have to be feet up bench or something. What's Thursday? Thursday is like a shoulder workout, so I don't know what I'll do about that. Or no, Wednesday. Thursday, I actually have my sleep study, the second part of it, to see. I think I get to sleep with a CPAP this time. So hopefully good things, you know, happen from that. Might be a little bit harder to sleep now that I have this going on. So who knows? I don't really know what to think right now, besides don't catastrophize. Don't think it's, you know, the end of the world. So I'm probably going to get in to see my massage guy, physical therapy, treatment guy, whatever they prefer to be called. Ah, that hurt. So I'm going to call it there. I'm not doing anything else today. I don't even know what I have left to do. I'm not doing it because I don't want to make it any worse. I'm going to reevaluate. tomorrow and just kind of see what happens. So hopefully it's not too bad. I don't really know what to think. For all I know, I could have seriously, popped something back into place that was out. I don't really know. I don't think so, but it's possible. I could have just popped my hip, because my hips always pop in and out, and I was to put them back in. How am I walking? I always walk with kind of a limp, a waddle type of thing, because of my previous broken leg that healed weird. I don't know. I don't really know what to think. I'm going to have to go see someone, that knows more than I do. My guy that I go to for pretty much everything now. Because that's a smart thing to do, rather than let it go. Some injuries, what happened, you can rehab yourself. But I want to be sure that nothing else happened, that I didn't seriously injure something that's going to need worked on or whatever. So I don't think it's there. I don't think that happened, but I'd rather be, sure. So it's the start of the year. I got a long year ahead of me, hopefully. So main priority now, get this feeling better, see what happened, if they're able to diagnose. If nothing happens, then we work through it, work around it. That's just how it goes. So do what you can without causing too much pain or, minimizing pain. So I think that's a good final message. So go out, get strong, stay strong, and I will check in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's how it is. Repeat. Go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.